Good morning. Welcome into today's Chiropractic and Nutrition here on Unforgettable 1220 and Classic Hits 99.7. Chris Roberts here. And with us in the studio, Deb Ford, MSRD of the Good Earth Health Food Shop on South Shannon Street in Van Wert, and Dr. Ian Rainey, Doctor of Chiropractic. Good morning, all. And what are we talking about here today?
Well, we're going to talk about protein. We're going to talk about all the different sources of protein and how it affects your body and all the benefits that you can get from it.
You know what? When a lot of us were a lot younger, a lot of advertising was directed at us. Wonder Bread, with all the protein in Wonder Bread. Do you remember the Wonder Bread protein claims?
Really? Wow.
Yes, I do.
Wonder Bread.
Yes.
You don't sound as excited about Wonder Bread as you should.
Oh my gosh, just don't listen to anything that is advertising. I'm sorry, but
yeah, we're on a facility here that its lifeblood is advertising.
Right, that's
but
true.
we have good, honest clients here that don't mislead people.
I know, and you know the thing is, because there's so many things out there that are just purported to be true, you've got to think, and also those people that have good things to say need to get out there. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're here doing this. And me as a certified personal trainer and clinical nutritionist, dietitian, and you as a chiropractor, we know what we're talking about.
Well, we know our stuff.
And we're not here just to capitalize on things. We're here to educate.
Everybody's trying to remember the slogan. The slogan was Wonder Bread builds strong bodies 12 ways.
12 ways, yeah. They didn't say that they took 50 different nutrients out of there and they only put back in a few.
But you know, back in those days, people weren't thinking about that sort of thing. They weren't really. They were thinking space age. They were thinking more for less. They were thinking, gosh, this is a much easier way to do things than we've done things in the past. And that's where we were going in the 50s and 60s.
And so now, this is the season where people are going to start exercising more, starting a new workout routine. We want to make sure we do have the optimal nutrition. We're not going to the moon, but we may just be going around the block.
Well, we want you to be able to do it as easily as possible and enjoy it.
And to repair.
So why is it, Dr. Rainey, that when we, for example, eat something that has lots of protein in it, like chicken or something like that, we feel pretty good after that?
Yeah, well, because what it does is actually repairs the muscle tissue, and it's full of amino acids that your body needs to be able to repair and help the body heal.
And also, those amino acids go into the amino acid pool of the body where it's making serotonin that makes you feel good. It is really, protein keeps you alert. That is, it is one of those things that, you eat it and you're ready to roll. Carbohydrates can kind of, if you get too many of them, they can kind of make you feel a little sedated.
Yeah, well, you're going to, if you do carbohydrates and you overload, you're only going to be able to process so many at a time. And whatever you don't utilize in the next 2 hours, you're going to store that.
2 hours, that's right. I mean, blood sugar goes up and down, and depending on how much fiber is in that, so it's going to go up and down faster. If you have, say, a whole orange versus orange juice, it's going to be totally different. Whole orange is going to be a lot gentler on your blood sugar than orange juice.
And that's because it's got all the components in the orange, like such as the fiber and things that slow that.
Yeah, okay. So different ways to get extra protein in. You can get protein powders, which is a real popular thing anymore.
Well, what's so good about protein? What are all the benefits? Some of the things that that I know for a fact, you can lose weight. There was a study done. It was published in Nutrition and Metabolism, and people who took whey protein, they had they lost a significant amount of weight, and they preserved more lean muscle. Yeah,
and it's so important as we get older too, because for every decade you are losing about 10% of your muscle mass.
Wow.
It becomes much more important for women as we age. So and people don't really go for a lot of protein. For breakfast, sometimes they'll just have a muffin, cup of coffee. You got to get that protein in every meal. That's why sometimes protein shakes are nice, because that is really going to preserve the muscle mass as we age. Plus, it gives you a little more energy to get out there and walk and take the dog for a walk.
Is there any protein at all in a muffin and a cup of coffee?
Well, there's a smidge in a muffin, but not a whole lot. But, you could add a little bit of turkey to that, a little bit of cheese. But what is really popular anymore, especially with women on the go, first thing in the morning, just making a shake.
Yeah.
Doesn't dirty any dishes.
Nope.
And there are a lot of different protein powders that you can use. Put it in one of those little blenders, little bullets, one of those little things that you can throw in any kind of protein powder. Whey is especially good. And for a lot of people, it's quick to digest. It's got a good amino acid structure. A lot of oncologists recommend it for people that are going through chemo because it does boost the immune system.
Yeah.
So whey is good for some people. It's not the best for me, but for a lot of people, it is.
Also helps lower cholesterol, too. There have been some studies for that. Like you said, improves the immune system. So people who have asthma is also great for, helping with the immune system. So a lot of great benefits to protein.
People that are wanting to build a lot of new muscle, they may go with egg white.
Why is that? Is it a little bit different form? It helps with building new muscle?
Yeah. Very high protein efficiency ratio. They kind of rate those. So the egg white, that's all it is. You're not getting a whole lot of else. Egg white protein is a complete protein too. Like most animal proteins are going to be complete proteins. Other ones that are real popular are the plant proteins. And they, kind of a lot of people are going to the plant proteins because not only are they're a little easier on the environment, but a lot of people have food sensitivities, and it's good to kind of rotate these in and out. So you've got the choice of pea protein. You don't think about peas having a whole lot of protein, but actually
Yes,
they do.
Yeah.
And rice protein, that's one. Hemp, soy. You want to make sure it's, not genetically modified. And we've talked in the past about spirulina. So that's also a nice one to get mixed in there because you get a lot of greens. So there's a lot of choices out there.
And those will be really helpful for people who are vegan or vegetarian.
Right.
If they say, I don't want to do whey protein because, I don't want animal products, that's a great alternative.
And I do like the idea of getting variety. With people developing so many sensitivities anymore, I just like to this time maybe try whey protein. So you don't get overloaded with that heavy protein. Maybe the next time, get a blend of the plant proteins. Then the rice protein doesn't have a really good protein ratio, so you're not going to get a real high quality protein. But it's darn nice for people that have food sensitivities.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the whey protein, you were talking about people going for alternatives. The whey protein has become so popular that, there's a lot of different manufacturing processes when it comes to making the whey protein. So the best form of whey, in my opinion, is to get the non-denatured whey, because that hasn't been damaged so much in the process. A lot of times they'll heat it up and they cool it down. It's like a really fast process, very efficient for concentrating everything. And on the label it shows, look at the protein rate. I'm getting 50 grams of protein here in 2 scoops.
So what would that look like on a label?
It would be the protein
isolate.
Yeah, the protein isolate.
Yeah. And whenever you cook a protein, whether it's an egg or meat, it denatures it, it really takes the bonds look altogether different. So that would be a more easily digested, more easily absorbed.
You're rapidly describing our ancestors, who ate raw meat.
Oh my gosh.
Not necessarily our personal ancestors, although we don't know for sure.
So that also brings up a really good point. So many people don't have enough stomach acid, which is another way to denature that protein. And that is a much better way. And people anymore, our ancient ancestors, probably not going back that far, but our ancestors did have a lot more stomach acid than we do. So ways to enhance that. My favorite, apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that's the best.
It is. That is a little bit of apple cider vinegar with your meals, or you could throw it in your protein shake, even better, is not only going to be beneficial for digesting the proteins, but as that food enters the small intestine, that encourages all your minerals to be absorbed better. Your calcium's going to be absorbed into the bones better. Your magnesium, your selenium, your iodine for the thyroid. If you get a little bit of acid in that stomach doing its job, wow. I mean, there's this, and then that's going to help the gallbladder. It's going to help the pancreas. I mean, little stomach acid is a good thing. So, yeah, very good point. Our ancestors had a little ones up on us on the digestion of proteins.
Well, not only that, but they didn't have fire in the earlier years, so there's a problem there too, I guess.
Here's a little clinical pearl for you. I have almost without fail been able to identify low stomach acid on patients because there's a little on your rib cage. It would be on, I guess, just
midline.
Midline, right where you'd get the Heimlich maneuver, right there. Just to the left of that, right on the bottom rib there, if you rub, I don't know, just about an inch or two,
a little tender,
to the lateral of the midline. If that is tender, chances are likely you have low stomach acid.
Stomach acid.
Take a little bit of apple cider.
Describe that location again.
That's going to be about 2 inches to your left from the midline.
Okay, so if you follow your rib cage up to where it is right above the stomach.
Yep. They call it the xiphoid process. That little, And then if you just go take your fingers to the left, just a little bit, about 2 inches, and rub right on the rib there.
Ouch.
Yeah, a little tenderness.
Yep.
Now,
I got plenty. I'm good.
Good. Well, if you're low on that stomach acid, take a little bit of apple cider vinegar before each meal, maybe about 10 minutes before, and you'll notice that tenderness will go away.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I'll see it time and time again. I'll go and I'll be checking patients, and I can, when I'm doing my analysis on their spine and their vertebrae, if I find multiple segments over and over and over, especially in the hips and the low back, that are checking weak, or the body is just not getting enough nutrients that it needs to heal and repair. People that are working factory jobs or repetitive jobs, and they need to heal.
Drinking pop, drinking coffee, sugared stuff.
All the things that change the pH in their body. Yeah, then those people benefit tremendously from just getting a little more stomach acid, because all of a sudden they're able to absorb those minerals that they need to be able to do the repair process at night.
Love that.
Yeah.
And you can get it in pill form.
You can.
You can get hydrochloric acid. You can get food digestive enzymes that have HCl or something like that in there. You can get that, but boy, apple cider vinegar. Now it's not nearly as good, but you don't always have apple cider vinegar when you go out to eat. So if you were to get a side of lemons, just make sure that they've cut them with a really good knife and they don't cross-contaminate, and that was in the news recently.
Wow.
But lemons in your water also can kind of encourage the protein digestion and the acidity in the stomach. So little good lemon juice.
I've been given that recommendation to patients who say, "Oh, I can't do apple cider vinegar."
Right.
So
make a little lemonade. If you would squeeze lemon and make a pitcher of real lemon, sweeten it with stevia, and you can sip on it throughout the day. Just make sure you don't put that in plastic. Plastic, any kind of citric acid, anything that's going to be acid is going to start dissolving the plastic. So you want to have that in glass. Absolutely. So that's also kind of an important thing.
And that lemon just stimulates the bitter senses on the back of your tongue. So that's going to help get your enzymes produced and get your body saying, okay, let's get ready for some food coming down.
Yeah,
here.
they've always kind of said liver and lemons go together. So it does. Wow. It really helps the digestive juices get going to. Yeah. So, a good protein shake in the morning. Throw in your choice. A little bit of whey protein or egg white protein, or the vegetable ones, which you get them in blends, and that's kind of nice. You can get some that also already have your greens mixed in. But what a perfect time to throw in a scoop of those greens that have other. Throw in a little bit of fiber, my favorite, psyllium. And that's going to help detoxify, add lots of bulk to the digestive system. Maybe throw in a tablespoon of flax oil so you get the good healthy fats too. It's in our way of living anymore, unfortunately, we're always on the go. And we don't take time to cook, to prepare ahead. So this is a real healthy way to kind of come up with the same sort of ingredients that would be in a healthy meal. So you've got the good healthy fats from your flax oil. You'd have the good healthy proteins from the protein powders. You've had the fibers. What else is missing? Oh, you need a little bit of carbohydrate.
Yeah.
So maybe throw in some fresh berries, some fresh melon, an orange, maybe some kale.
Oh, you got everything you need.
I know.
It's amazing. None of that was on my shopping list today.
I got you covered.
You can do a really great shopping list for, $50 a week for a person.
Yes.
You go out and you just get vegetables and fruit and some protein and then,
shopping the perimeter.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think there's much reason to go down any of those aisles.
No.
But quick
Why
things.
why do they put all that stuff seriously? I mean, when you walk in most grocery stores, first thing you run into is the vegetables. I mean, is it the same thinking that prevents restaurants from putting the dessert first on the menu?
Well,
I mean,
it goes bad the fastest, so they probably need to move it the most quickly.
Is that what it is? But most grocery stores are laid out that way.
Yeah.
Attractive. It's colorful.
That's true.
You've got the rainbow. Yeah. So that is, so that's a good place to start. There's some other things you can get to pick up, maybe tomato sauce in glass. Always make sure you buy it in glass because the others. An interesting thing that I've been studying back in school. So we're studying longevity and things like that. And one thing that really surprised me that, we talk about increasing fruits and vegetables that's going to be really good for longevity. The one thing they all take out of the mix is canned fruit. Canned fruit does not go along with promoting longevity.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So it's got to be fresh or frozen.
That's good to know.
That is good to know. So stay away from the canned stuff. You can get fresh, frozen, in glass, probably going to be good. And you do want to have the tomato products cooked, to liberate the lycopene, which is so good to prevent certain cancers. So glass, if you have to get them canned, make sure it's in glass.
Wow, this episode is full of all kinds of little clinical pearls.
Right. So now
tidbits, though, you can get tidbits in cans too. You've seen it, apple or pear tidbits or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want to do that too often.
Pineapple tidbits. That's what it is. All right. Well, hey, that's anything else for the good of the order here? Or we're just about out of time this morning.
Well, with protein, just to wrap it up, your body can absorb 30 grams at any time. So you don't want to hit it too hard, but you want to spread it throughout the day and get minimum 60 grams a day.
Yeah. And that's to maintain good muscle mass. And people say, why do I need muscle mass? I don't want to get big. Well, when you have muscle mass, that helps burn calories. It keeps your metabolism up. And
keeps you standing up.
Supports your spine and your skeletal system.
And without it, you look like one of the characters on Star Wars. I've forgotten that name. What is that? The name of the blobby guy? Got to have muscle mass.
Yeah.
All right, that's another today's chiropractic and nutrition here on Unforgettable 1220 and Classic Hits 99.7. Deb Ford, MSRD of the Good Earth Health Food Shop on South Shannon Street, and Dr. Ian Rainey, Doctor of Chiropractic. And I'm Chris Roberts. Have a great week.